There is a perception amongst the medical community that it's too hard, or perhaps we shouldn't be asking people about how they want to be looked after at the end of their lives. The truth is, we're all going to die. Advanced care planning is about allowing people to have more choice to choose the care that suits them best.
I'm declining quicker than I'd like, but yeah.
An advanced care plan is a kind of living will. It lets people decide in advance how they want to be cared for as they approach the end of their life.
When you're struggling to breathe, you can't pick and choose what to say, and half the time you can't talk. Your mouth swells up, your throat, everything's automatically closing so fast. Yeah, that's horrible.
An advanced care plan isn't just for when somebody can't speak. It's about planning for every aspect of the end of their life.
Initially, my thoracic specialist said, well, we have your diagnosis back, and this poor man did not want to tell a patient that they not only had a cancer, but they had a particularly nasty one. I mean, when your doctor feels bad, you're really in trouble.
An advanced care plan isn't just for people with a serious medical condition. It's for anyone who wants to talk about and plan for their future care and treatment. Advanced care planning has to be introduced early enough so people have got time to think about it. Often they want to talk to their family about it. Often they change their opinion as time goes by. And advanced care planning is not just about the process of actually dying, it's in the time between now and dying.
I've been sick for 3 years now. I went through the stages of crying, hating everyone. Why wasn't it them, not me? I was supposed to die, I don't know, last year, the year before. And then I thought to myself, well, no, I'm going to get up off this bed and take my medications and be happy with life every day.
Advanced care planning is not about withdrawing treatment. It's about facing reality, accepting that somebody is going to die, and helping them make the most of the time that's left.
One of the challenges I've always found in my profession as an oncologist is that we're trained, we spend 10, 15 years or whatever it may be, training and knowledge around cancer care. Somehow we've got to transfer that knowledge to the patient and their family so they can make a right decision. But it's not very empowering.
His approach was very, very open and very, very frank. A combination both of being friendly but at the same time absolutely professional and not missing any aspect of the seriousness of what I was going to have to be doing.
When I first met him, he was incredibly determined to fight and to get as many years of life. But it became apparent very quickly that he was struggling with the therapy. And it was, well, what does this mean for you, Joseph? And what are your goals and what matters? And so we went through a whole phase of quite significant conversations about putting a plan in place for him and what that meant for him. It's been a bit of a rough time, and last time we caught up, really, treatment has been pretty hard on you, and we sort of ummed and ahed about what to do and decided to reduce the dose a bit, hoping that this cycle might be a bit better. But so, how's it gone? Tell me what's happened.
It's gone very bad. It hasn't been any better. I still have all the problems with the nausea, the vomiting, diarrhea. I'm still losing weight. I expect to have some bad days after the treatment, and then hopefully I was hoping for a week to 2 weeks of feeling much better at it, but that hasn't come around. It's just been pretty much 3 weeks of misery between each treatment. So it hasn't felt as if I've had any time to draw breath between.
The good news is it's not growing. And the good news is there's nothing new, so that's fantastic. But really, we're not seeing materially a lot of shrinkage, which I think would justify carrying on. Yeah. And certainly, given how tough you're finding it, I think the smart thing to do is to put a halt to the treatment and say, look, let's give your body a chance to recover and recuperate.
When we were told that there was no appreciable benefit being gained by the chemo, for me, the decision to say, well, let's just stop that then, and let's just see where the cancer goes by itself, was the easiest thing that I ever did.
What we don't know is that in the months ahead, are you going to recover a lot? You know, are the side effects of the chemotherapy going to drift off, and are you going to get stronger and get more out of life? Or is this a combination of the tumour and the side effects, and so therefore we get some improvement, but maybe not as much as we want? And I guess it's helpful to try and, you know, to sort of put in place more the what ifs, you know, so what might that mean if that happened to you, and just put a bit of a plan that gives you a chance of taking control of that phase. It's not a single conversation, it's a series of conversations, in my opinion, so that you start a journey, and each time you meet somebody, you continue that journey of that conversation, and you open up another door, another opportunity.
Advanced care planning can be a delicate subject, and it's very important that we approach it with sensitivity. It's important to raise it, but it's surprising how often people have already thought about it.
He raised it in a way that allowed me to pick it up. I could have left it. I could have said, I don't want to talk about this. But for me, it was a perfect opportunity to sort of at least start considering those issues.
I don't tend to say, I want to talk about an advanced care plan. It tends to come up in a conversation around something around their future. This is about hope, this is about fighting, this is about giving you the best chance of enjoying a good quality of life for as long as possible. But we're going to have some major hurdles to face over the journey. Now, that might be a journey of some to many months, or it may even be some to many years.
It seemed this is a time to consider contingencies and the idea that things will get worse.
Previously, we'd given you a little leaflet to have a look at, this one. I wondered what you felt about what was in there.
If I had a heart attack or something and I didn't want to be resuscitated, could that go down and would they see that?
Yes, absolutely, and this would be the perfect place to write that down. You're not trying to hasten their death, you're not trying to imply that things are going to happen very, very quickly, and you may not even be suggesting that they're going to pass away within, you know, the foreseeable future. It may be something that is a bit further down the line.
Yeah, it's something that I need to do. Not only for myself, but for my family.
This is something that I can, again, give you this leaflet to take away and think about on your own, discuss with your whānau and maybe your GP and anyone else who is important to you for making those decisions.
Most of the work with patients is done by nurses and other healthcare staff, but anyone can raise the subject of advanced care planning.
Been pretty hot out today. Where's that dog of yours?
Oh no, he's tied up. I made sure he was tied up before you came.
You know, as clinicians, often we see people, we see where they are in their disease, and we're not actually raising questions that they haven't considered already. So let's talk about your advanced care plan. And so your advanced care plan, we know what you want at the very end. You want to be at home.
And even I used to think, oh no, you just die in the hospital, you know. Nobody picks anywhere they want to die. Like people want to be taken to the beach or just lay on the grass. Then I kept on thinking, gee, what do I want to feel? It's hard. It's 1,001 things you want to feel.
So again, you're steering the waka. You're in charge.
Advanced care planning can take the wishes of family and the medical team into account, but what really matters is what the person wants.
It was helpful to think not so much about the fact that I was going to die, but to think about the fact that something might happen on the way to that, and I might not be in a position to verbalize my ideas about how I want the treatment to go.
Everybody has an opinion about what's best, and everybody is acting from the sense of what's best. But if you haven't worked out the issues, yeah, you're likely to tread on toes.
You can include anything you want in your advanced care plan. Nothing is set in stone, and you can change it whenever you wish.
I saw him a few weeks ago, and he's the best I've seen him since I've known him. And that's, you know, fortunate in the context of obviously everything he's doing, and the treatment's worked enough to give him a quality of life of value at the moment. And so he's in a different mind frame now. He's actually planning his PhD. So although he's, you know, fully engaged in a conversation about advanced care planning, he's planning, but he's planning his PhD. Now, you know, he's also realistic that that may not be achievable, but it's a goal for him.
A good advanced care plan is like a roadmap. The person, their family and their medical team all know where they're heading and what the person wants on the journey.
With a person with a chronic disease, they've been chugging along as they are for some time, and that condition becomes normalised within the context of their family and their close friends. When that person says, I'm talking about the end of my life, I'm talking about what I want from now until the end of my life, family can react in a negative manner.
But conversations about advanced care planning can actually help sort out some of these problems. Then the person can receive the kind of care they want and need.
It's just lovely to come somewhere and just relax and not worry about all the walls I have to hold up when I'm outside and with my family. I feel normal. I don't know how to explain that to you, but I don't feel like I'm dying, because here everyone's in the same boat, everyone.
When I have a really good idea of what it is that my patient wants, I as a clinician can advocate for them in a far more positive manner. And advanced care planning reinforces that focus, I suppose you could say.
In some ways, advanced care planning, we've made it too hard. Advanced care planning is about letting the patient know exactly what's going on, asking for their opinions, and making sure they've got a say in their care. Well, that's exactly what we should be doing with all medical care.
You just feel better, and you feel that your husband and your children are going to be a little bit more secure when you leave, that you don't have to worry about them.
I have had a strong and productive life. I'll continue to do that as long as I can. But, you know, if I die for any reason, it's not as if I've left things undone.